Here we go in 3, 2, 1. I think I'm recording, and I am recording. Welcome to the second episode of September. Wow, we're just rocking and rolling right along. Pretty soon it'll be Christmas and New Year's, and 2021 and 2020 will be over with. Yay! Can't wait for 2020 to be over with. Okay, today we are going to talk about another installment on brushes, talk about saving brushes, loading brushes, exporting, importing, and you can even email brushes, so it's really easy to do. But basically, how to manage your brushes and organize them so you can find them when you want them. So let me go into share screen, go into Photoshop, and I have nothing open right now. Let me just bring up a new file folder so we have it. If I hit B for brush, you'll see I have a drop-down menu here. And then also on the right-hand side, I can go to my brushes and do the same thing over here. Brush settings, et cetera, et cetera. But when you go to your brushes up here, you'll notice that I have my brushes set to huge because I'm blind. But you can, there's a slider on the bottom of your brushes panel that you can make them big or you can make them small. We have our splat from last week that we made. I think that was last Tuesday. It wasn't a week, it was Tuesday. So we have the splat available. We also have all the other brushes that I have. I have all kinds of brushes. Wow, it's out of control again. No wonder they did housekeeping on me. These are just on their own right now. So I'm going to take these, and you can see that I have a couple different folders here. What I could do is take all these splat ones, and I'm going to click on the first one, which is Ink Splat JPEG. Let me make it big so you can see what I'm doing. And you can see a blue line going around it. If I hold the Shift key down and click on the last one, which is Cheryl's splat brush, it highlights them all. You can use the Command key and turn them on or off for which ones you want to do. And what I'm going to do is take these and I'm going to make a group out of these. So I'm going to go to the flyout wheel, settings wheel up at the top, go to new brush group, and everybody can see my screen right now, correct? Yes? Okay, cool. I'm going to click on new brush group, and I'm going to title this splat, because this is what we made last Tuesday. Click OK. And now splat is in its own group. So I can minimize it or I can open it up, and that's all my splat brushes that I have. If I want, I can drag the splat brushes into Mike's brushes, and now it's in there. And it's at the very top where it says splat, and it shouldn't be that didn't work right. So let me take my splats. And I want to move those out of that section. Let me make it small again so I can manage the space. Make it really high. There we go. And why I have so many brushes showing up like that, they should be all organized, and I guess we complained about Photoshop earlier organizing it for me. Well, let's do this. Open up all Mike's brushes. Take my splat, and I'm going to move it up to all Mike's brushes. There we go. Now it's in its own little folder under all Mike's brushes. And what I can do is this one is so unorganized, I don't like it. Go to the drop-down menu and delete group, which is Mike's brushes. Bye-bye. And you start to panic and go, oh God, did I delete the wrong brushes? I needed one of the brushes that was in there. No worries, I had it saved already. So I'll go to the drop-down menu, get more brushes, and I don't want those. Well, let's just do it the easy way then. It's hiding from me. So let me change my screen share real quick so you can see what I'm doing. Stop share, share again, go to desktop so you can see everything I'm doing. I'm going to go to my Finder and wait for my hard drive to kick in. It's asleep, of course. It's always asleep when Zoom comes on. There we go. And I don't think I have them saved on my desktop. I don't. Good. So I'll go to my folder and I'll go to Photoshop stuff, brushes, and then I'll go to Mike's brushes. And all I have to do is double click on it and it will load it back in again. So when I click up here, Mike's brushes are there. All unorganized as get out. And you can take some of these when you find brushes that you like and you want to keep them separate. I like the Dune grass brush. Let me make it big so you can see it. Now where did it go? Here it is down here. I like dune grass and I love grass brush. And I also use the Star 26 is one that Sandra Pierce has us using a lot for doing in the eyes. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to do new brush group and call them Mike's Faves. Click OK, and now I have Mike's Faves. So they're in their own little world. Make it small again. Wait for Photoshop to catch up. And I'm going to put Mike's Faves all in all Mike's brushes. So that's in there. And you can organize your brushes so you know where to find them anytime you need to. So Mike's Faves should be right there. And I'll take my dune grass, double click on it so it's my brush. And I'm going to paint with green. So let's make this green. And the reason it's not working is because it's lightened at 7%. So we'll go to normal, go to 100%. When your brush doesn't work, look at the size to see if it's big enough to work. Look at the mode. It was in lighten, and lighten on white, you're not going to do anything. If I went to multiply on white, it would be fine. But lighten on white, or any of the lighten screen, etc., I could paint all day long and it's not going to show up because there's nothing lighter than white. Check your opacity, check your flow. You want to make sure that it's all working. So I can make a nice AstroTurf right here. Then I can put animals on there if I like. So let's go Command Z a couple times. Good. Okay, and you can see dune grass is what's selected right now. Minimize that, go back to here. I want to make sure that Mike's brushes get saved so that I don't lose it again. So I'm going to go to the drop down settings wheel here, and I'm going to export selected brushes. Click on export. Right now it says Untitled Brushes, and I'm going to title this Photoshop Party, and I don't care about the typo. And I'm saving it in my brushes folder. So the same place I got it from, Photoshop Stuff Brushes. You want to make sure you keep it someplace you can find it. Click Save. And it's saved. If I go to Photoshop, my brushes folder, and somewhere in here should be Photoshop Party. There it is. So if I lose it, all I got to do is double click on it and it goes back into Photoshop. I've got brushes from Joel Grimes. I've got brushes from Suzette Allen. She's got some really cool brushes that she sold at or one of the schools I went to and watched her. So does anybody have any questions on putting your brushes into folders? You should have dry media brushes, wet media brushes, got Kyle's brushes, special effects, all Mike's brushes, which includes brushes from Woody Walters, which are they got lightning, they got smoke. Sandra Pierce gave us some brushes at school. Hair brushes for animals, so you can paint hair. Mixer brush, another mixer brush special, eyelashes. She gave us all kinds of cool brushes at school. Watercolor, legacy brushes. I'm glad I saw that. If your legacy brushes are not showing up, which happened to me on one of the updates, the legacy brushes were gone, which is the original brushes. My legacy brushes are ones that I use on occasion. That's where the star filter is. That's where some of the other stuff is. All you have to do is go to your drop down up here, append default brushes, click on that, and it will add the legacy brushes back in again. So legacy is brushes that came with Photoshop way back when, before CC, like Photoshop 2.5 is when I first started using brushes and stuff. It was fun. So this is the hairbrush that you can do for animals to paint hair in. I tried it on my headshot, but it didn't quite work. So any questions on how to find your brushes, how to hide your brushes, how to organize your brushes?
How do you group them again? Where was the group command located?
Let's go to Mike's brushes here, and I want to do soft round and hard round, and I want to make those a group. So what I did is I selected those, and you can see they're selected. Make it big again. All I have to do to select them is click on the first one. If you only want another one, you can hit Command or Control, depending whether you're Mac or PC, and click on it. If you want the whole row, or all the way down to, let's say I want to do soft round down to soft round pressure opacity, which is this one, I just shift click and it will select them all. And then go to the settings wheel in the upper right hand corner of your brushes panel, click on that, and click new brush group.
Okay, thank you. I missed the settings wheel. Okay.
No worries. It's best if we go over it 4 or 5 times, so when you forget, which you will unless you do it a lot, and to get rid of that, just hit escape and it goes away. Okay, let's go into, I don't want him. I want him, but I don't want him. Desktop, September 1. And we were going to play with this one a little bit, weren't we? And this is a black and white image, almost a black and white image, that my sister-in-law asked me to clean up a little bit. And it was pretty bad when I got it. Now it's only just kind of sort of pretty bad. What color of dress would she have in the days of old? Somebody pick a color, we can make it.
I'll say blue.
We'll go with blue. Thank you very much. Who said blue?
Gary Parsons.
Gary, you just won a free dinner out tonight. You have to be in Lompoc by 8 o'clock to claim it. Yeah, right.
I'll meet you at Lompoc Airport, okay? I've been there, by the way.
Are you a pilot?
Yeah, I am, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's go with the nice light blue. Click OK. If I paint with that light blue, I need a soft round brush, not the hair brush. And one of the things I forgot to talk about was my favorites. I have favorite brushes already saved. So when I want to go and do something special that I do all the time, I have my favorite brushes. Soft round brush is one of them. To get, let's say we have the hairbrush, which is this one right here, and I want to save it in my favorites. I go to the favorite, go to the drop down arrow, hit the plus sign, new tool preset, and this would be hairy brush. And we're going to include that blue color because I always use blue in my hair. Click OK. And now you can see that hairy brush is selected. I'm going to hit escape on that. Click out of here. Command Z. Change my colors to default colors by hitting D. Go to my favorite brushes. Go to hairy brush, click on it, and you can see that it changed my default colors to blue and white because that's the colors we saved it as. I have my logo brush, so if I wanted to put a logo on here, I can. Kind of big, so we'll Command Z that and make it smaller with the left bracket key. And I can put my logo on things really quick. So that's one of the reasons I have my favorites up here. So let's go to the soft round brush. Well, let's go to hairy brush to get the color back, and soft round brush. And right now my brush setting is 600 pixels, which is huge. And it went to the other color. Darn. Okay, we'll just reset the blue. And 600 pixels way too big, so let's bring it down to where it's a workable, manageable size. And what I like to do when I'm doing black and white restorations or recoloring is I will do it on its own layer for the blue to do her dress. So let's make a new layer, new blank layer is on, and when I paint, that looks totally realistic, doesn't it? From here, go from normal mode on your layer down to color. And now it picks up all the shadows, all the highlights. And this is where the Wacom tablet comes in handy, is you can get much finer detail. And if you zoom in, Command plus, you can see what you're doing a lot easier.
Mike, I still have my Marshall's light oils.
I have some Marshall's oil in my closet too. Anybody want to buy them?
And my Kodak dry dyes, I haven't used those up yet either.
Wow. Stuart, you're giving yourself away. You've been in the business way too long. Okay. To me, that looks a little too on the bright side. So I'm going to take my opacity down to like 70% or so. And I'm going to make her bottom of her dress pink, just because, or a kind of a purplish pink, I guess. There we go. And I'm going to go another layer just for fun. Paint again. And you'll notice that I did not put it in color mode right away. Only because I'm going on the edges real quick and want to be as accurate as I can. And working with the Wacom tablet is so much easier than working with the mouse or the trackpad on your laptop. I've had people come to my classes and try to work on the trackpad, and for some reason it just is not easy to get your selections. I'll drag that across, get the back of the dress as well. And if you want to do a straight line, you hold the shift key down. Now I'll change it to color. Where's color? There's color. And it's gone all kinds of purple. One of the things about working with colors like this, when you're trying to add color in the color mode, it will not paint on white and it will not paint on black. So if you try to do that, it's not going to work. But you can see how fast it goes. And if you want to see what you did, hold the Option or Alt key, click on the eyeball for that layer, and you can see I missed a few spots here. You didn't really notice it in the photo itself, but when you turn it off, you can see. Hold the Option or Alt key again, and we're going to drop the opacity on that one just a smidgen. And that's how fast this would go. The kid's jacket here on the left, probably do a brown color. And for me, brown is one of the hardest ones to find a decent color in. And do another layer. And I should be titling each layer as I go so I can find them. I'm going to change the mode to color mode. B for brush. And we're going to paint brown in. These kids are in their Sunday best.
You know where this is?
What's that?
You know where the photo was taken?
Not a clue. I don't even know who's in the photo. It's my sister-in-law asked me to scan them and clean them up. And in fact, this is probably one of the originals because there's a bunch of some kid drew with a pencil or a pen on the picture there, and I'd have to take that out. But this is kind of therapeutic for you, like Irene Bowers was saying when she's doing her retouching. It's kind of therapeutic and kind of fun at the same time because you get to actually see the difference that you make. I struggle when I'm doing face tones. My face tones tend to come out kind of yellowish when I'm doing them, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I need to get with Irene and figure out
Have you tried stealing the face color from another photo?
I have, and it still comes out kind of yellowish. Like
Yeah.
that one's really, really gnarly looking. Drop the opacity down so it looks. Now if I try this color comes out yellow green, but up here the tone looks really good. So I'm not sure
Oh.
what the issue is. And I'm sure it looks just perfect on your screens as well, right? And let's do it right. She's not feeling well today. I'll get you, my pretty.
There you go.
Anyway, all you have to remember to do is when you do your new layer, put it in color mode or paint with the color mode. Let's go ahead and do this kid's cap in blue. So I'm going to zoom in on the cap. With the brush, I have a blue color selected right now. It's in color mode and it's not painting in color mode, as you can see. But that's okay. I'll just go up here and change my layer mode to color and drop the opacity down so it looks more realistic. There we go. And it's just that easy. If you want to paint the grass, get some green grass over here. And I'll make another layer just for the grass. You don't have to make a layer. You can paint everything on one layer if you want. But I just tend to do it myself on different layers. I don't like that color green. And you see I went over that white spot right there and it did not change colors. Like I said, if it's white, the color will not change. And then go to a smaller brush to paint between the legs and around the foot. And I could go on doing this for a long, long time, but you guys don't want to see me painting. But I just want to give you a quick overview how fast this could go. And this could be something that you could actually make money at, is colorizing photos and making people happy. And you just need some music in the background, something that's like a really good classic rock or some hard kicking country to get the beat going, and you just kind of work to the beat. And it's, to me, it's a lot of fun. So questions on what we covered so far?
Good.
You guys have all got this down and you're doing it and you're working on your own right now, right?
Absolutely. We are all becoming Picassos as we speak.
I am definitely not a Picasso, believe me.
Mike, you've got the pen at
know what we're
100%.
doing.
Do you ever try to do gradients on it with the pressure sensitive?
What's that, Stuart?
You've got the pen at 100%. Do you ever do the gradients with the pressure so that you do lighter and darker to get some modeling?
You can do pressure sensitive on here. My pressure sensitives pretty much is the size of the, how hard I'm pushing. So in this case, I have green up right now. Let me make it really big. And you can see my screen right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I push lightly, it does a little bit of the brush. If I push hard, whoa,
Yes.
it should be doing more, but it's not. Because that's, should be doing the whole brush with pushing hard. And it does a little bit there, but let me take it out of color mode. And we'll do light and pushing hard is actually giving me the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
That's weird. It should be pressure sensitive.
You have the pressure sensitive button pushed on the top menu.
There is no pressure sensitive up there. I'm looking for a pressure sensitive brush. Here it is. Pressure opacity. Yeah, pressure opacity and pressure size on the brushes. So if we go pressure opacity,
Oh, now we got it. Yeah.
You're still painting in color.
let's go to a darker color so we can see it. Okay, that's light pressure and that's heavy pressure.
There you go.
Okay.
So depending on what you want to work with, I'm more of a light pressure on here or medium. I guess I'm more heavy than, yeah, wow. That's weird. I guess I'm a heavy pressure guy. Oopsies. So with your brushes, you have a variety of brushes in there. You have hard round pressure size, soft round pressure size. So let's go soft round pressure size. And we're going to put it on its own layer so you can do pressure. That's soft and that's hard. So it's pressure size on there. So if I want to go into very tight details, I just push nice and soft and go across. If I want to just fill in, then I just fill it in. Okay, cool.
Mike,
Yes.
how do you get around dealing with the tree and all its branches?
What I would probably do with the tree and all the branches, let's go ahead and dump that. And dump that. And let's make a new layer for the roof. And this is going to be our roof color. And we're going to put it in color mode. So it's easy to do. And the roof is kind of a reddish brown. We'll do that. And what I would do, well, let's make it green so it stands out, a green roof. So we have to work harder. I would just fill in the roof. Right there. And then I would go to the next layer, go to my brown to do the tree and change the color. Whoops. You don't want to go away. Go away. Bye-bye. Go to color mode. We're in color mode. Make a smaller brush and then zoom in. Command plus, Command plus. And then just paint brown on my branches.
So it's a huge amount of work.
Yes, yes it is.
Yeah.
This is something that you have to zoom way in, and I'm using my pressure sensitive brush right now. But yeah, it would be a touch of work to make it so it looks realistic. I'm glad you asked that question. That was a good question.
I think that's why in the old days, like with the martial colors, it was usually just the face and eyes that they would do. I know I've seen some of the portraits from the family on the back. It's written with, blue eyes, blonde hair or brown hair.
Right.
And something, and they just do a little bit of coloring on those major areas, not the whole background and stuff.
And they only did
Very
a
sepia and
light
go with
color.
it.
Yeah. They used kind of a light color. They didn't actually fill in the full blown
Right.
color on there.
Transparent oils.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other questions? Carl, you have a question? You're muted. Hey, let me unmute you. It won't unmute you.
Mike, how did you finally control the pressure sensitive part of your brush using the welcome?
What I
Was
did
it clear?
is I went to a pressure sensitive brush where it says, in all these brushes, one of them says soft round pressure size, soft round pressure opacity. So I just picked the pressure size, and
Okay.
as I'm painting, I just paint lightly on it.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha.
Okay, one more try on the
There he is.
recovering legacy brushes. I need to see that again.
Okay. Go to your brush palette. Go to the fly out settings wheel right here. Click on that. Go down to append default brushes. And that should bring your legacy brushes back.
Got it.
Should.
We'll see.
You know, I don't guarantee anything with Photoshop late. I used to say everything was perfect, but the last update I did, I've been struggling kind of fierce. So, okay. Any other questions? That was like too easy.
Well, you wanted easy today. You hit the easy button.
I hit the easy button. That was easy.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to put a photo out there for everybody to play with and retouch and do your own thing with, and just kind of share, show and tell kind of a thing, just to play, and not mandatory. But if you're interested, we'll do that. One of these times, I'll figure out a picture to share with you guys and play with.
That would be fun.
Be fun.
I think it would be fun. I mean, it's a challenge, and you'll see a bunch of different interpretations of it, which is the whole idea. Photoshop, a lot of times, is just interpreting what you have done yourself. So, cool. Well, thank you, gang. It was fun to have you here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Michael,
you.
thank you.
Enjoy your weekend. It's a holiday weekend. Stay inside. Don't go out.
It'll be hot.
And be safe.
Stay cool.
Yeah, stay cool.
I'll melt.
Melty! Yeah, I know Mel will melt. Never mind. I'm not going to be mean. Let me turn off the recording first.